Hi. Okay, I've now got in the hall where the Reptile fair is. It was a bit longer than I expected because I met somebody I knew and we started talking about exotic pets. So I've managed to go upstairs here so you can get a sort of overview. I've had a quick look around, but I think it's going to be really difficult to get a decent scope out of this because it's just so busy. The only places, like I said before I came in, the only places that were space was where they were selling plants and accessories. I'm hoping it's going to calm down a bit because it started just over 2 hours ago. So hopefully it'll calm down a bit and I can go around and let you see the sort of things that are down there. Like I said, I had a quick look about. You won't find any large snakes at any of these events in Copenhagen, simply because you aren't allowed to keep things like Burmese pythons, I think even boa constrictors. Hi Kim, I finally got here. I've just came out. I've been in for a little bit speaking to a guy that I know and decided to come up here and just let people get an idea how busy the place is. It's going to be pretty difficult to scope because anything interesting you've got to basically fight your way through people to see. So to try and get through a mobile phone is going to be quite difficult. The places that aren't busy are the places that sell equipment, like that one down there. Yeah, I decided not to come in at 10. It started at 10, but I mean I've been before and I know that. Hi Brazil. So I didn't come at 10. I came in at 11:30 and basically walked straight in. If you come here before 10, you have to stand in a big queue. It takes the best part of an hour to get in when the doors open. So it's pretty much like the reptile fairs anywhere else, I suppose. Pretty much the same as the ones in the UK. The big difference between this and the shows in Denmark and the ones in the UK is in Denmark you're not allowed to keep Burmese pythons, rock pythons, reticulated pythons, all the really big snakes. You're not allowed to keep them in Denmark, whereas you are allowed in the UK. I've seen some quite nice royal pythons. The prices have dropped so much. I remember the first time I saw an albino royal python, or ball python as the Americans call it. The first albino that I saw was £7,000. I don't know what that is in dollars, but it's roughly 70,000 Danish kroner for one snake. That was the first of what they call the morphs, something a bit different, an albino snake, or an albino royal python. So they went for a lot of money at the very beginning, but they've been breeding a lot of different varieties of royal python now, and the prices have dropped dramatically, unless you've got something that's totally unique. Then they still go for really high prices. So the quick look about I had, there's snakes, frogs, lizards, I think there's tortoises, various rodents, like live ones, sort of fancy looking rodents. There's freezers full of frozen rodents, which are obviously food. And spiders, lizards, frogs, just the usual sort of mixture of things. So there are about 80 different stalls. This is I think the biggest reptile fair in Zealand anyway, which is the island that Copenhagen is on. They have one in May and one in October. I've been told it's the first Saturday in May and the first Saturday in October. So the one in October, you'll have a lot of stuff a lot of things are just about to hatch just now, so they'll be ready for the October show. So that's pretty much it. Really, it's just the same sort of thing as anywhere else. Not as big as the ones in America, but not bad for a small country like Denmark. And they have the same thing on Jutland. I think that was last month. It's the same organisers. So again, it's a pretty big one. Like I said, I came in an hour and a half after it started, and when I was walking along the car park, I could see people walking out with boxes and tubs and sacks and things. So quite a few of the things have been sold. I probably missed the most interesting things. That's why people stand in a queue for an hour to 2 hours before the place opens, so they can get in quick, have a good look and pick the best. A lot of people know exactly what they're looking for, and a lot of people have already arranged with the breeders to meet them here, and they've got the animals on reserve. The thing about buying your exotic pets, things like this, is you're speaking directly to the breeder. I mean, the snakes will all be captive bred, so you're speaking directly to the person that bred them and hatched them and has been looking after them. So you'll get a good background on the animal, and you'll get feeding records. They'll be able to tell you how often it's fed, when it's shed, all the sort of things that it's good to have at the beginning. They'll also give you their contact details if you're having any problems. Whereas if you buy from a pet shop, you can't be that sure that they really know much about them. The other thing is, if you buy at these reptile fairs, the prices are usually quite a bit cheaper, because the shops have got overheads. They've got rent to pay for the shop, they've got staff to pay salaries and stuff, they've got tax to pay, so the price is quite a bit more if you buy from the shop. So to get good deals and to be sure that you're buying from somebody that knows what they're doing, it's better to come to these things, because you can stand and speak to the breeders and ask them anything you like. It's always a good idea to get some information before you come about the particular animal that you're going to buy, and know at least some of the answers, and then ask the people when you come here and just see how their answers compare to what you've read on the internet, what you've researched. It's pretty easy to catch people out, and I think it's quite easy to read people as well. You can tell when you're talking to a breeder that they're passionate about what they do, and they care about the animal, and they're quite happy to talk for quite a long time, even if you don't buy. Hi Turkey. So it's definitely the place to go if you are thinking of buying something. It's worth coming just for a look as well, if you're curious about the sort of things that people keep, the exotic pets. The thing that I didn't mention that's here is stick insects and bugs and that type of thing, that I find quite interesting. Just so many different things. The guy that I met when I came in, I've actually known him for about 3 years, and he breeds various stick insects and things. And actually, a couple of years ago, I got some insects off of him. I got some leaf insects and some jungle nymphs. The only problem with them is they don't live that long, compared to a snake. The snakes, you're talking 15 years up to 30 years plus, depending on the species of snake. So I suppose you could say the good thing about the insects is they don't live that long, so you get the experience of seeing them grow and molt and change. Like I said, I had jungle nymphs, and the females get really big. I saw a guy handling one when I was down there. And when you buy them, they're tiny little brown things, and then they molt and molt and molt, and eventually they turn into these massive insects. They're really impressive. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, you should come to these shows. I mean, the other thing is, it's all educational. You come in here guaranteed to know more about things than you did when you came in and when you leave. You find that the guys in the stalls are all friendly, quite happy to talk all day about what it is they keep. So I think this was just an excuse for me to have a seat, by the way. This Kim was telling me I'm getting old, so I thought I'd come up here and have a seat. I will go down. I'm going to go down in about 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll try to get some decent video, but it isn't easy. You try to squeeze through, I don't know, 2 or 3 people deep, and everybody's trying to see the things, so it's kind of hard to get arm room to get in with a mobile phone and get piece to actually hold the phone still and focus on things. But I'll give it a try, see what we see. So that's pretty much it for now. So I'm going to go down, see how it goes, give it a bash. Hopefully I'll get some decent video, at least of some nice royal pythons if nothing else. So I'll be back on in about 5 minutes. Okay, thanks, bye.